Hey, it was weird because when it cut off to the music, it went from my headphones to my computer speakers, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Well, that's fun.
There's only two of us tonight, and we'll get into that.
Hey, YouTube.
Who's? Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just reading the comments.
It was kind of
General Kenobi.
Yes. Hello there.
All right. Should we just go ahead and jump right into it?
Yes.
All right. 269.
Man, it's almost 270.
Yeah. Should have done a Bill and Ted episode. I made that same joke when it was 169. And
I'm
when
sure
it was
you did.
And when it was 69.
The original 69. Wow. Wow. So we are hitting our anniversary date, and I always forget how many years is it? Was it 2017? So we're 6 years. That sounds right. I think it's right.
It's still going.
Still going.
Will it go another year?
We don't know.
All right, here we go. And 3. Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 269.
Wow.
Bill and Ted would be proud. I'm proud. We've made another. I say this joke every time that we should have done a Bill and Ted episode. So we've made it another 100 episodes to get back to 69. So will I have the same joke if we make it to 269? I mean 369?
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
It's just Catron and myself, Ryan, tonight. Chris has allergies. He's allergic to everything. Come to find out. I still think he should just get a bubble. He should just live in it. He would make the news. He could be like the bubble boy of Texas.
He needs to be in a bubble. That's the issue, right?
Yeah. Just Chris the Bubble Boy. He could be in a sideshow or something. A carnival.
Yeah.
He could be circus folk. Which surprisingly is a majority of our listeners. Circus folk.
Carnies and circus folk?
Yeah. We're big. We're big with the carnies and the circus folk.
Good.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you'd find that. I don't know how you'd find that out. I don't think on Podbean or wherever it has, like, when it lists out the demographics, it has circus carny folk.
I don't think so either.
It should. I mean, some of our listeners, like I said in the comments over there, do work for theme parks.
That's true.
That's close, I guess.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, when I worked in a theme park, I walked on stilts. So that's pretty much carny circus life right there. When I walked on stilts. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah. I do not walk on stilts anymore. Getting too old. Too old. Anyways. Tonight is a little different because we're actually, I don't want to call it an advertisement, but we're going to plug our new show. We're going to talk about our new show that's coming out, fingers crossed, next week. Can you believe that?
I can't. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to happen before that happens, but the plan is to at least record next week.
Yeah, the plan is to record next week. And we'll see what happens.
So we got to work out the theme song still and make sure it's going to upload correctly and plan the show.
Yeah. Maybe
we got it.
It'll be a test
next
week.
Have to have music.
Then that goes away.
That's right. I listened to a podcast that's very popular that doesn't have theme music. So I was like, well, maybe we don't have to have theme music.
Oh. Very popular, huh?
We will have. We will have music. It's
I'm
in the works.
I'm hoping, yeah. The new show is called Living with the Land. And what?
Living with the Landspeeder.
Oh gosh. Wow. Sorry. It's been a day. My wife is out of the country. It's basically taking care of 2 kids by myself. Where's you out? She's been out of the country for like a while now. When did she leave? Like Friday?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, Friday.
Hmm.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there. So I'm about to lose my mind. But hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll be back Saturday.
That's the plan, right?
That's the plan. Anyways, yeah, Living with the Landspeeder. Because of a past show and our love for Star Wars and Disney, it's going to be fun. We're going to have another host. His name is Derek Frank, or as I like to call him, Derek the Frank, because that's right. Sounds cool.
Well, yeah, and that came from because he's called the Derek Frank on most of his social media, and Ryan, as he does with words, mixed them up and said Derek the Frank.
But that sounds cooler, doesn't it?
It does sound very cool. And
hey, what's your name?
He appreciates
Derek the Frank. You're like, it's the Frank.
Like a hot dog, or
the coolest guy around. Only cool people have "the" in the middle of their name.
It's true.
I mean, normal people have like "the" at the beginning of their name, but when it's in the middle of their name, you know they're big time.
Big time.
Big the time. Yes, so I met him at a thing called the Thane. A conference called the Thane, and we just sort of hit it off. We both love like the same stuff, and he came on the show a few times, and then we're like, we should just start another show and just see where it goes and see what happens. He's got connections that he's like, let's do this and this and this, and I'm like, let's do it all. I mean, he asked, we're not going to give anything away. This is a little teaser. He said, can we have guests on? And I'm like, sure, we can have guests on. And then he named the guests, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yes.
What?
We can have guests on. Bring them all.
Yes.
Chris will probably be like coming in every now and then.
Yeah.
As a special guest.
Welcome.
He's welcome to come in. It's up to him. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun, I think. So basically, the show that he was on, iamGEEK episode, one of them that he was on, is basically we did an episode where we add to Galaxy's Edge, and we came up with new stuff for Galaxy's Edge. So, and then that's where Living with the Landspeeder, we've told the story on here before. That's where Living with the Landspeeder came about. So each episode of this new show, and we think we're going to go every other week to start with. Yes, right? That's the plan. So we'll do
the plan is
1 week.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the next week do Living with the Landspeeder, just to get our feet wet, see how it goes. I mean, who knows where it may go? Who knows?
Yeah, we enjoy doing both shows, I think, at this point, and I don't necessarily want to get rid of both of, or one of the over the other. So at least to start off with,
we'll see what happens.
Do both, and
all the the listeners pouring in, demanding for us to do more than once every other week. Then we'll see what happens.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, so every episode is basically us taking a Disney attraction and Star Warsifying it, making it Star Wars. So I guess that would be the easiest way to describe it. That's the gist of it. So we'll take an attraction, for example, Living with the Land, and we'll make it into a Star Wars attraction. So if you think about all the attractions, all the restaurants, everything that's in Disney, we'll start with Disney World, make it a Disneyland, who knows? There's a lot of content there. So each episode, it's not going to be like we're going to take one park an episode. We're going to take one ride an episode, break it down, have fun with it. Hopefully each of us give our take on it, on what our Star Wars version of that's going to be. And then you could in the comments here, I have an idea, Catron.
Okay.
What if we at the end of each episode we comically judge each other's ride?
Okay.
So we come up with categories for the judging that are ridiculous, and we judge it, 1 to 5. There's another podcast that I listen to that does that with paranormal stuff, and it's freaking hilarious. So I'm like, that would be sort of funny. Maybe we judge each other's rides to end the episode.
Sure.
And maybe we don't judge each other. I mean, everyone, but I think that might be fun. But anyways, and then we'll have some guests on. I'm sure we'll do some little Star Wars Disney news throughout.
Yeah, it's generically it's a Disney and Star Wars podcast.
Yeah.
So the idea that kicked it off was making Disney attractions into Star Wars attractions. Yeah. We're going to run out at some point, so
I don't know.
All the episodes,
a lot.
We hope it'll go further than just those rides. I mean, so I think we can. We'll have. I mean, we're still figuring this out, but it's we'll have topics around shows that are on. So Mandalorian topics, Mandalorian themes for the rides, as other shows are released. When we have what's that other show that's coming out soon? Because the part 2 of the animated series that they did, the Visions, right? Doesn't that come out this year?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that and talk about Disney things.
This may be wrong, but
just
rides alone.
Okay.
There's 173 rides at Disney.
Wow. Is it right? Oh, attractions, right? You think that's got to be?
It says rides right here. Just rides. There are 41 rides at Magic Kingdom, 42 at Epcot, 17 at Hollywood Studios, and 46 at Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
That could be attractions.
I mean, I mean that could even.
Also, there are 11 rides at Typhoon Lagoon and 12 at Blizzard Beach. Plus, you have all the restaurants.
Cruise ships.
You got cruise ships. You've got other parks throughout on the world. I mean, we at least have 173 episodes.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But I guess there's some repetition though, right? If you're thinking about, I mean, that's good. Walt Disney World is where we'll start because it's the most. But then if you start going to other to Disneyland or Disneyland Paris or wherever, they're gonna have some rides that are at least named the same. So I don't know.
So we got a question in the comments. Here's a question: will you do attractions that are at multiple parks once, or insert the number of times they appear?
There you go. So I don't know. Gives us a chance to rethink it again, reimagine it again.
Maybe the Space Mountain Star Wars ride at Disney World is different than the Space Mountain Star Wars ride at Disneyland. Huh?
Yes.
You never know. Maybe. And on top of that, each attraction will probably have 3 different versions of it, because you'll have your version of Living with the Land. I'll have mine. Derek will have his. And we'll also have guests on that have to do with Star Wars stuff, that are in the Star Wars community.
Sure. Yeah.
That, maybe they'll play along, or maybe we'll interview them, or who knows? We'll see. We shall see. It will be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Yes. Like, would you treat Disney World Pirates and Disneyland Pirates technically different from each other, if only slightly? Yeah, we'll treat them differently. But we're going to start with Disney World probably, because that's what
we're most familiar with. Yeah.
I've been to Disneyland once. But we may just have to take a trip to Disneyland for a scouting mission for the show.
That's true. Yeah. Just we'll charge it to the
show. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By that time,
rolling.
By the time we get through 173 rides. Anyways, so that's going to be. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Derek is working on music for it.
Yes.
I think he's in a different.
Chicago.
He's not in town. Yeah, he's in Chicago right now. But he's working on music for it. Cater's been doing all kinds of stuff for it. I feel like I'm the lame one that haven't done much for it. I guess I'm its first sponsor. My kyber crystals.
Remember to check out iamGEEKshow.
Remember to check out Living with the Landspeeder shop. No.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Now, I mean, that's one thing we did talk about is maybe coming out with different shirts or merchandise for the rides that we come up with.
Yes.
So we have Living with the Landspeeder, of course.
Yes.
I am or have been working on a Mad Tea Party remake.
Oh.
But it's not going well. But it's a really cool idea, but I'll save it.
Oh, you'll save it for the show?
I mean, it's probably pretty easy to guess. I mean, what kind of ride or vehicle might you replace the teacups with?
BB-8s? I don't know.
Grogu's pram. The little that he rides. The hovering prams party. And I had you know how on the board, the sign that's in front of the Mad Tea Party, it shows him drinking a teacup.
Yeah.
Well, I got a picture of Grogu drinking out of his little cup of tea, and was trying to incorporate that a little bit, but it's just not quite working. I don't have the same doesn't have quite the same inspiration to it.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be a fun show. Let us know what you think. If you're listening to this, if you're like, oh, that sounds great. Or if you're like, no, I'm diehard. iamGEEK only. So I think it'll be fun.
Yes.
And by starting it, hopefully next week, we'll get it up and going before I take my voyage on the Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
So we could promote it that way. We can talk about the Star Cruiser experience, probably on here too, but on there. Which, let me tell you, I'm excited about going, but it's been sort of stressful. I have a list a mile long of stuff to do. I think it's because the voyage I'm going on is like one put on by a bunch of Star Wars people, like making a special May the 4th cruise. So they're all going in it like gung ho. Yeah. Yep. So I'm like, well, I got to do this. I got this list a mile long of stuff like costuming and 3D printed stuff and trying to make crystals for it to hand out. And then I put out some new crystals thinking, oh, maybe people will, buy a couple and help out. Now I've got like 14 orders, and each order has like multiple like crystals in the order. That's like from last time we talked.
Nice.
So I've been working on those. That's why all this sit up is behind me. So I get to see the lovely roll of paper towels. I should have moved that. And there's a big table with all the crystals.
It looks like a cylinder, like a tower. You could have just said it was a tower for this mock-up you're doing of Coruscant or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. So I've got all this stuff going on, trying to get everything done. It's crazy. That's May 3rd. I leave here May 2nd, so not too far away.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what month are we in. I don't even know. Is it March?
We're in March. We're almost through March. That's what's crazy. I was telling my wife yesterday, I was like, man, we're halfway through.
Yeah. Tomorrow is St. Patty's Day?
Yes, when this releases, it's St. Patty's Day.
Oh, we should have done a special St. Patrick's Day episode where we talked about everything green.
Green lightsabers.
Yes. You know what? I mean, I have them in my Savis. Oh, no, I have one green lightsaber up there. Because Ahsoka's can turn from blue to green.
Green Yodas.
Green Yodas. Green koosh balls. Make sure you wear green tomorrow, Catron.
I am.
Not just your underwear.
Yeah.
Because then you have to show people your underwear.
Yeah, that never goes well at work. So
made that mistake before.
Yeah. The last job.
Yeah, the last. That's why you don't work there anymore.
That's right. Learn my lesson.
Sorry, we have to let you go. You showed your underwear. Like, it's St. Patty's Day. Doesn't matter. Anyways. So I'm excited about the new show, Living with the Landspeeder.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have fun merch with it, fun episodes, special guests. Derek is a great guy. I'm looking forward to working with him. It's ready for it to just take off, blow up. Disney will call us and be like, we like your ideas for these rides. We want to make it into, we want to gut the
fly you down. Just let you guys go to town. No.
Oh man. All right. So yeah. So I'm trying to think what else is going on. Mandalorian. I don't know if we want to do that yet.
Yeah. Why not? Do whatever we want.
If you're in the comments or listening and haven't seen Mandalorian, maybe we'll wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's do the okay, so South by Southwest happened.
Yeah.
Disney news. And Josh D'Amaro was there with some Imagineers. He just brought his gang.
Yep.
I couldn't really tell you what South by Southwest is.
I used to think it was just a music festival is what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was. But I guess it's a tech thing. I guess. Oh, okay. Anyways, so they were there to promote some of their new stuff they're working on. They brought out the Star Cruiser lightsaber that nobody can buy. That works like a tape measure because basically it extends itself and lowers itself. And he made a fun time out of that. He did it twice, and they're like, they only told me I could do it twice. I can't open it again or turn it on again. And then he turns it on again, and then and he gently swings it around.
Right.
I wonder if they did sell that, how much it would be.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm excited to see it. It would probably be really expensive. Not to switch things, but they came out with the Thrawn merch.
Yeah.
And you can get a little figure of yourself.
Yeah, and record your voice too.
$89.
Yeah.
For an action figure that records your voice.
I mean, you can get an action figure, a custom action figure online for however you want it, and I've seen it for like $85. So to add a voice on there, that's not too bad. That seems to be about the going rate for that sort of thing. I think the Avatar one was like that.
Do you think you can say whatever you want to, or do they give you certain lines you could say? Probably give you certain lines.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Probably to keep it family friendly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways.
They have an opportunity to have some really cool merch for Tron, though, which they have some already, but it seems like even more, The water bottle I thought looked pretty cool.
I want the dip.
Yeah.
It's a Bluetooth speaker. That's what Winchester said it was.
Oh.
I was like, oh. I'm like, well, that'd be expensive. I want like a cheap one that just lights up.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to play my music. No. I just want it because who's gonna really? Are you gonna carry around a disc to play music? I mean, that's like maybe a disc. That's like a disc man.
So what would be interesting is if it interacted with things in the park like the Magic Band Plus did. Like if you wear it on your back, and that's why there's a speaker on it, like it would play sounds or something. But then it would be really expensive.
Yeah. I don't know how much it's going to be. I just want one that lights up because they're cool. Anyways, back to South by Southwest.
Yeah.
So they did the lightsaber. They did Tinkerbell that's in a lantern that talks to you and stuff.
That was pretty interesting. Yeah.
It was interesting, but it was sort of weird because Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, anyways, doesn't talk. She just ding-a-ling-lings.
Tinkle sounds?
Bell-like sounds.
That's better, yeah.
Tinkle sounds.
It's terrible. Bell sounds.
Anyways, so she talks to you and she's like, "Hi, it's me. I'm Tinkerbell."
Hi.
But it looks really cool because she's in a little lantern. It's like hologram stuff.
Yeah.
So that they were showing different ways that they're going to bring characters into the park. So that was one of the ways. So Tinkerbell will be in a lantern. She won't tinkle anymore, but she'll talk to you.
Which the one in the parks does talk to you.
Yeah, but she's big.
You can hear her because she's bigger, right?
Yeah.
That's your point. Yeah.
Like if I shrunk you down and you talk to me,
you would sound like a bell.
You would, or a tinkle. If I shrunk you down and you talk to me, you would sound like a tinkle.
Yeah.
Like tinkle, 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 tinkle. How's your day? Tinkle, 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 tinkle.
Yikes.
Anyway, so that was cool. And then they brought out the Stuff of Nightmares, the robotic Judy Hopps on roller skates. One step closer to robots ruling the world is what I saw.
Yes.
I mean, they can get up on roller skates. I cannot get up on roller skates.
This is true.
Yes. So if a roller skating robot came after me and I was on roller skates, guess what?
He wins.
Roller skate robot wins every time.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
But it was so cool. It was cool. I don't know why they chose Judy Hopps.
Well, you think about, it's just been a rumor. No, did they decide that they were going to add the Zootopia to Animal Kingdom?
It was one of those Chapek things where like, guess what? Maybe, probably sometime coming.
But yeah. So, maybe it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what they're working on, is some kind of interactive robot or robot show or something on a ride even.
Or maybe it's a roll around character that attacks children.
Whoa.
It goes rogue. Mommy, why did Judy Hopps punch me in the face?
Go savage.
Gal. Just like in Zootopia, where the animals go crazy.
They go savage.
There we go. So it was cool. It would fall. It would do a flip, basically a somersault.
Yeah.
It would get up by itself. The guy could just pick it up and put it on its shoulders.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like wires running anywhere. It was all a unit that just rolled around. But it looked sort of creepy because it wasn't like fully fleshed out. So it was like the face was gray with no robot features.
Looking.
Yeah. Like a robot looking rabbit, which is sort of weird.
I think that was probably intentional though, because they wanted to show that this was a robot and that not just maybe even not even like AR or something, because you could have, if it were fully, don't take this the wrong way, but fully clothed, if it had like skin and looked like a rabbit, somebody might have said, oh, that's just AR, augmented reality, or animated, or they added in with CGI so that to show it as a robot, it looked maybe more realistic. And again, it just shows like, here's what we're working on,
Yeah.
Or they spent all their money on the robot part and couldn't put clothes on.
Can't put fur on it. Can't do that. We can make the robot, but we draw the line with the budget at fur.
Yeah.
No fur. Anyways. So that was cool. I'm trying to think if they showed anything else or if that was it.
That's all
I think that was it.
Saw.
Yeah. They did. The rest was hush hush. And they didn't show. Anyways. Yeah, so that was cool. Thrawn is getting ready to open. More and more people are riding it. I think they should just open it now, to tell you the truth. I see more and more people riding it every day.
Yeah, which that's a good sign. I haven't heard a lot of news about it being down or having issues, I guess. So
yeah.
I think the biggest issue is having enough of the car that you can just sit in. Having enough of those, because there's 4 trains and only 2 of the trains have
only 2 of the trains have the car?
That's what it was when they first opened it. So I'm curious if they change it, because apparently that was a big issue where people were having to wait and they felt shamed and shame.
I hope I get to ride it when I'm there.
Yeah, I bet you will.
All right, so this is probably going to be a short episode tonight. We just wanted to stop in and say hi, but let's give our well, first we did find out that Willow is canceled. It's not coming back. I don't think it was a big surprise.
Yeah,
I love the Willow movie.
Right.
The Willow show is very different from the Willow movie.
Not great.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was like modern songs in Willow time and like modern slang, and it was weird. But I was hoping for the best, but it didn't work out. Anyways, so Mandalorian, we're going to go ahead and talk about the latest episode of Mandalorian. So if you haven't watched it, thanks for listening to our little plug for our new show. And we hope, where can people find the new show when it comes out?
That's a good question. So it should be on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify for sure, because we're going to use their service, which used to be called Anchor, but just last week it was changed to Podcasts on Spotify. So there's a new icon and everything on my phone, but for sure it'll be on Spotify. But we'll publish it to wherever we can. So probably Spotify and Apple Podcasts to begin with. More to come afterwards, and you'll just look for Living with the Landspeeder. It should be the only one that's even close to that name. Whereas with iamGEEK, there's at least one other iamGEEK out there, so we have to battle with them. But we're also with Living with the Landspeeder. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which we haven't done anything on the Twitter yet, but we have some posts that we've made on Instagram, and we have a group on Facebook, Living with the Landspeeder group or something like that. It should be pretty easy to find. But definitely anything at Living with the Landspeeder on YouTube. But that's the plan.
Cool. All right. So that will be next week, Living with the Landspeeder, hopefully. If not, we'll be back here again next week. But hopefully it'll all get worked out where everything lines up. Living with the Landspeeder will start next week. And it's
a new feed, and so again, we said this before, but if you're subscribed to iamGEEK, you'll need to subscribe to Living with the Landspeeder as well, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah. When can they? Probably next week they can subscribe. Not yet.
That's correct. We can't be on those services until we post the first episode.
Okay.
So if you follow us on socials, we'll blast it everywhere. Yeah, we'll probably blast it on iamGEEK as well. So.
Yeah. Follow Derek Frank on YouTube. The Derek Frank.
At the Derek Frank. Yep.
At the Derek Frank on YouTube and then social medias, so you can get to know him too. All right, the Mando, season 3, episode 3. Now, a few weeks ago, we had a little roundtable about the first episode,
premiere.
And I said on that episode, I bet they're going to have at least one episode that's not going to focus on Din Djarin, and it's going to focus on a random character, just like they did with Book of Boba Fett. And everybody had laughed at me and said, "No, there's no way they're going to do that. No. That's not going to happen." I mean, not just you. I mean, not just people on the show, but like other people. Like, they're not going to do that. It's going to be Din.
Laughed at you.
Din, the Mandalorian, every episode, which we got a little taste of him. But for the majority of the episode, we went to a different planet where he wasn't at, to a different character that was in, a small role in the other seasons, and spent the majority of the time with him. So I just wanted to say, sometimes my intuition is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. People said it wouldn't be done after the Book of Boba Fett, and I said, I don't know. I think this is their plan, all along. So we start where we left off with episode 2, with them coming out of the water.
Yep.
They talk. They leave. We're not going to give all the spoilers.
He didn't see the monster.
He didn't see the mythosaur. Because Bo-Katan asked him, "Did you see anything down there?" He's like, "Nope." And we did find out that because people were like, "Was he pulled under? Did he just fall?" And everybody's like, "He didn't just fall. He was pulled under by the mythosaur." Well, we found out from what I read into it that he just slipped and fell. He didn't know how deep it was, and he just fell and sunk to the bottom. That's what he said. He was like, "I didn't realize how deep it was."
I mean, that's what he said, right? But it's like he kind of was knocked out, though. It seems.
Well, maybe he hit his head on the steps on the way down.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that he was just pulled down by the mythosaur necessarily, because it's like you just didn't see any kind of waves or any kind of motion at all, except that he was gone. He went down really quick. So maybe he did slip. Maybe the armor is heavier than we think in the water.
Oh, it's Beskar. Yeah. So
Beskar just makes you sink really quickly, but he came up pretty easily. So, which I was really interested in how the jetpack worked so well in the water. But
it's an underwater jetpack.
It's another galaxy, far, far away. So I get it.
They have underwater jetpacks there. Yeah. They do it all. So we found out that he slipped, which I thought was sort of funny.
Yeah.
And then they take off to go back to her castle, Bo-Katan's castle.
Yikes.
But they run into some TIE fighters.
Yeah.
And right before they run into TIE fighters, though, she says, "I'll invite you in for a nice feast, but you're probably not going to take your helmet off." And he said, "This is the way." And then she says, "This is the way." And I'm pretty sure Grogu says, "This is the way." Because Grogu goes, "Yeah." And maybe he said, "The way this is." Yeah, right, this is. Because they both look at him like, did he just talk? But because they got hit with a TIE fighter shooting at him, it sort of was just like a blink and you miss it moment. But if you go back and watch it, he's just like, so I'm counting that Grogu spoke, or at least tried to speak his first words in this episode.
I'll have to watch it again. I was doing something else while I watched the episode, and I didn't focus all the way. But
yeah, watch that, at least that part, because he says this is the way, and then she says this is the way, I think, and then Grogu goes, "I'm not right," or "No, wait, there's that," and they both look at each other like, "What the what?"
Because they don't know who Yoda is, right?
No, I think. Well, yeah.
Because you think they would have mentioned.
I think Bo-Katan would probably.
She might, but you'd think still that would have come up at some point. So my point is, maybe
I know it came up with Ahsoka, I think, and it came up with Luke. Anyways, yeah, it came up with. I'm sure. Luke knows, of course, and Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, sure.
So they probably mentioned it to Den. It's all right. But it was a blink and you miss it moment because they immediately get hit with TIE fighters, and there's like a swarm of them.
Yes.
That they have to fight off. I thought it was really cool how she's like, "I'm going to drop you off your ship, but I can't stop," and then he just like jumps out, in between all these TIE fighters, and then flies away. I'm glad his jetpack worked. I'm glad he didn't like get stuck or something.
That's true. Yeah.
And then I thought that was a really cool canyon scene, fighting, the
The
dog
battle
fight.
was incredible. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really good start to the episode.
And then and then they think they're out of the thick of it, and then the castle blows up, and then she's furious. So she's going after them, the TIE bombers, and then there's like a swarm of them.
Yeah.
So the question is, why were there so many TIE fighters?
Right.
Because the Empire's done.
Right.
So either this is a remnant left over of the Empire, like Imperial remnant, or which, if this is it, it's so cool. It's Thrawn's TIE program that it's in the books and stuff.
Yeah.
So these are all belonging to Thrawn.
Could be.
So we could possibly get Thrawn before Ahsoka, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, to introduce him in something else, and
we've already got hints of rebels with the as I like to call them, space whales, and that's what drug Ezra and Thrawn off, was one of the whales. The tentacles wrapped around their ship and then shot into hyperspace. So it could be Thrawn keeping an eye on Mandalore, or keeping an eye on Bo-Katan and Din. And I don't know. I thought that was a really cool scene, though, because there was just like a ton of them that popped up on the little radar screen. And they were everywhere. So they got out of there. Got out of Dodge.
It was interesting, the timing. Like, did they see her leave and then thought, this is our chance? Or is it just the way they did the show?
or maybe they were, whoever this is, was watching Mandalore because they have something on Mandalore they don't want other people to forget or find. And they saw these two Mandalorians on Mandalore, and they're like, yeah, we're putting a stop to this before all the other Mandalorians come back.
Sure, yeah, that could be.
So that could be. So when he said, I've got a place we can go, here's the coordinates, did you know where they're going to go?
No, I thought they were going to Coruscant. I was like, why are they going to Coruscant? Because that was the next scene.
Yeah, that was the next scene. I got a place to go. Let's go to the city. No one will find us there.
Are you going to go gambling, or what's going on? It almost felt like they were going to the casino planet. But.
Yeah, it was. When it flashed to the Coruscant, I thought the same thing. I'm like, they're going there? And then we see the doctor.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, side quest.
Well, it is, but it is part of the bigger story. You know?
Oh, I know it is. But I mean,
but it still just felt like, why does this have to be so long?
It felt like two different episodes smushed together.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were even saying it felt like an Andor episode.
That's what I said. I said this felt like I was watching Andor.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
It felt so much like the way they did those episodes, and there was a prison or whatever. Not a prison, I guess. I mean, it basically was, but
yeah, it did feel weird. I liked the story they were telling.
Sure.
But I thought it felt out of place.
It did feel out of place
in that episode that it was in.
Right. But it does. I mean, there's obviously something bigger, and the reason why they were doing all that and all this. But I kept thinking, isn't this show called Mandalorian? Not the clones? Or
people said the same thing about the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be leading to how the Emperor comes back. The cloning and everything with the Emperor. Sure. This could be leading to that. I thought it was interesting that the Doctor gets basically his mind flare erased, zapped. So I'm like, whoever this, I don't remember the lady's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoever she's working with, does she not want other people to have the knowledge in his head? Or are they keeping it to themselves because they don't want people to know what's going on? Like maybe they're cloning the Emperor behind the scenes or somebody. It was interesting.
it seemed weird because he's the one that seems to know the most about it. So it's like, why get rid of his knowledge and his skill set?
Unless she didn't get rid of the knowledge and skill set and just got rid of the memories of
what happened and
what happened, so they can basically take control of them and use them. Unless they got all the information they needed from him.
Right. Well, yeah. And, she had him go get these tools.
Yeah.
And then came back and they got caught in that. So did she need him to get the tools, or was that just a ploy to get him caught and red-handed? And, so, I mean, I don't know what she would do with the tools, but whatever.
She's working with somebody.
Yeah.
But, just the look of her demeanor and everything, I'm like, yeah, she's like from the get-go, she's bad, right? She's bad.
Yeah, I know. That's what we were like, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
For this guy.
Like, how is the New Republic just dumb? I mean,
I think so.
Because clearly you got this nerdy scientist guy, and then you got this woman who looks like, I will slit your throat any second now if I wanted to. And they're like, oh, let's take her side. Yeah, she's probably the one that's
she
with
gave
us.
me cookies. Biscuits.
I do want one of those glowing popsicles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of cool visuals in the Coruscant scenes.
Yeah.
I like you had sort of the street hustlers, performers all over the place, and the droids, different droids you saw.
Yeah.
And we did. Go ahead.
I was going to say you saw a different side of the galaxy too when in Coruscant, like as you did in other movies, but
yeah.
But that was the thriving metropolis, or whatever you want to call it, where all the money is apparently, and it's happy and safe.
And I think we did see they give a little slight hint as to why the New Republic is not going to make it very well, not going to survive. Because there's a scene where he's in sort of the office cubicle type thing, and you had that other guy coming to talk. He's like, I have so much work to do, blah, blah, blah. And he basically talks about decommissioning the rebellion's fleet. He's like, yeah, we don't, we're decommissioning all of this. So anyways, so it just shows that they got rid of their whole fleet. So it makes the First Order be able to come right in and take it over, because the rebellion's like, we're not the Empire. We don't need we don't need the fleet like the Empire had. So we decommission most of our ships and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, the First Order, they swoop in and take over. And they destroy, basically, as we see in The Last Jedi. And they blow up that one New Republic planet. No, Force Awakens. Sorry. Force Awakens. Yeah. The big Death Star planet blows up where all the New Republic.
You've watched them recently, so you know.
Yeah. So there was that whole scene. We sort of leave him with his mind flared, turned to 11.
But before he gets his mind flared, the best part of the episode, he says, as he's looking at the General Akbar, or Admiral Akbar looking guy, he says, "It was a trap." And they look over. That was the best part. I laughed so hard because I was doing work, and that happened, and it just caught me off guard. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!"
It's a trap. Yeah, it was really cool. I thought it was funny that the Calamari, that's their name.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I've done the mind flare. It was nice."
I know. Of course, you're going to remember how nice it was.
It's quite enjoyable.
Yeah, that music in the background was just so weird because it's just this pleasant little thing that's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And I still wonder what actually they were going to do. Like they were supposed to just ease his mind, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a way to basically get rid of his PTSD from working for the Empire,
but not erase his mind.
Not erase his mind.
make
They're
it
not
seem
the
like
Empire.
everything's
That's crazy.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets turned 11. So, I mean, maybe we'll see him again. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe
That's what is he going to be a vegetable or dead or
Yeah.
what? You know,
I don't know. But then it goes back to Din and Bo and little Grogu. And we find out that they're going to where the armorer and the clan is, Children of the Watch or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And they just land like, I got the water. You know, I took a dip. They're like, prove it.
Yeah.
So then they threw in the magical water, and she's like, yeah, they're right. So they both bathed in it. They both haven't removed their helmets.
Yep.
So now they're both welcomed back, just like that.
Yeah.
Bathe in the water. Welcome back. Just don't take your helmet off ever.
Around other people, right?
Yeah, around other people.
Take it off. Private.
Yeah, in private, I guess. To eat in front of open windows. As we saw in season 1.
That's right.
I can only take my helmet off in private. Let me sit in front of this open window.
Yeah.
Children played outside. Take my helmet off to eat. They're welcome back, but Paz Vizsla, the big dude,
yeah,
even with his helmet on, you can tell that he is mad and he is angry that they are let back in. So I'm thinking that something is going to happen with him. He's either going to betray them or he's just going to try to, kick their behinds or.
They had a fight in the last season or in the 2.5 or whatever where did he end up grabbing the dark saber and trying to fight with it?
He tried to, and it was heavy for him too.
Yeah. So they may have been setting us up in that episode as well to make him the big bad. And
well, his family line is known for looking out for themselves and wanting power. So there's going to be something there with him. He's either going to betray them or.
It's funny though, because we said that Bo-Katan was going to be the big bad, that they were going to have a big fight.
They still could. I think the reason she's kept her helmet on and the reason she's agreed to join up is because she knows that, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah, sure.
And the Darksaber will be within reach.
Well, yeah. Well, she doesn't have a castle to go back to, so she needs to play it cool for a while.
Yeah, play it cool. And she knows that she saw the mythosaur and nobody else did. So she's got that in her back pocket. She knows where the Darksaber is. She puts it all together. We could see her riding the mythosaur at the end of the season with the Darksaber. I don't know. It should be interesting. Katie Sackhoff said that her favorite episode of the season, I think, is episode 5.
Oh man, we're getting close.
We'll see what happens in episode 5. But in general, I liked the episode. I did feel like it was weird having that big break with a different story in the middle of it. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to set it up, trying to move the story along. And they only have so many episodes that they can work with. But I enjoyed it. Thought it was interesting.
Everything else that happened in the episode made it worth it. I didn't care for that whole
it was too drawn out.
So drawn out. But they had to set up that how she was setting him up and convincing him that she's the nice guy, she's helping him, she's becoming his friend and deceiving him, and then to go do this thing, which again, was there a point to going there and getting those tools, or was it just to get him caught?
Yeah.
And did that bug mean anything that they saw as they were walking in? Did it?
Oh, that was cool. The glowing eyes.
Yeah. That's cool. I thought that was what was knocking on the door or something. They're getting ready to come in. I thought the guards that came in and got them looked kind of cheesy though too. Like their costumes were. It's like, is this a con or something? What did we stumble upon here?
That's like the old costumes from the original movies.
Sure. It just looked funny, but Yeah.
So I enjoyed the episode.
So
I thought it was good.
I mean, it's Mandalorian. So.
Yeah. Bad Batch was also really good this week, I thought.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you've watched it or even watched it at all.
I've watched some of it. My son has gotten ahead of me, so I'm behind.
Yeah, I thought it was good. This week was good. So, anyways, all right. Well, there we go. So next week, iamGEEK we probably won't be doing a show next week because we'll be doing Live with the Landspeeder. Unless that's not ready, and then we'll be back with iamGEEK.
Yes.
But hopefully, Living with the Landspeeder on YouTube, on wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Also follow iamGEEKshow on everything.
Yeah.
If you're not following us already, which why not? Make sure you click that like button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell strangers to check out iamGEEK and Living with the Landspeeder. We're starting our own little universe here.
Network.
I like universe.
iamGEEK Network. Universe. Sure.
Universe. I don't know.
It's a new thing that nobody else is doing.
Yeah. You've heard of the MCU. You've heard of the DCU. Now there's the GCU.
The Geekiverse.
Geek Cinematic Universe. I don't know.
Geek GPU.
GP. The
Graphical
Geek
Processing Unit.
Geek.
I mean,
podcasting
universe.
Either one. They're both geeky. Anyways, I'm Ryan. This is my good pal Catron. Chris is sneezing somewhere. And
poor guy.
Next week we'll see you on Live with the Landspeeder, and then we'll see you again in 2 weeks on iamGEEK. See you next time, everybody, and good night.
Bye-bye. There we go.
There we go.
I guess we'll just sign off for YouTube. Looks like we've scared everybody off. So.
It's just me. When we start talking about Mandalorian.
I know.
I guess we shouldn't.
Oh, well. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I am